everyone. In today's episode, we're going to discuss traveling with elderly people. Most specifically, safety travel tips for senior travelers. Travel can be one of the greatest gifts that you can give your mom and dad. The trip may be to visit other families, particularly grandkids or even great-grandchildren. It may be an adventure to a destination, aboard a cruise ship, or even a return to a home long ago. You may accompany your parent or your parents, or he or she may maintain some independence, therefore go solo. Either way, there are some steps to make senior travel easier. Now we go to number 1. Choose your travel method wisely. While you're planning and preparing for your trip, there are many different ways to get from point A to point B. Though airlines may be your preferred method of travel, seniors can also travel by bus or train and still can get senior discounts. While practicing social distancing, buses and trains have reduced capacity limits to ensure enough distance between the passengers. Be sure to reach out to your local train or bus station to discuss what precautions they are currently taking to keep their passengers healthy and safe. If you choose to let your parents travel by plane, be sure to ask about the senior flying discounts. Many airlines like American, Delta, United offer senior discounts. Still, sometimes discounts vary based on flight length and which markets you're flying to and from. It may be best to contact by phone the airline your parents hope to travel with to get the best price possible. We go to number 2. Reserve and request elderly accommodations. Request seat assignments for rows designated for disabled persons. And most importantly, request for free wheelchair service at every airport origin, connection, and arrival location. If there is a meal service aboard, which they usually have, especially when it's an international flight, advise the reservation system of any dietary needs. If traveling alone, ensure that your parent have human assistance from the counter, through security, through the gate, and also to aboard the aircraft. If staffed by an airline employee, there is no cost for wheelchair or assistance. Your parents can just give them a tip. If you don't make and confirm all these requests at the time of reservation, the airline, train, or bus has no obligation to make them available on check-in or while en route. We go to number 3. Ask for special accommodations ahead of time. Aside from senior flying discounts and wheelchairs, be sure to explore other additional options like extra assistance with baggage and further personalized options like choosing your seat or early boarding. Boarding ahead of time can help ensure your parents have time to make themselves comfortable, all while helping them keep an appropriate distance from other travelers. Another important tip: make sure that they always wear their mask at the airport and for the duration of their flight, and limit contact with other travelers as much as possible. We go to number 4, prepare personal and medical documentations. A government passport is accepted as the highest form of identification by airport security officers. If you or your parent does not have any passport, consider applying months prior to your travel. Request copies of prescription and or statements of medical conditions from each of their physicians and medical treatment centers. Photocopy 3 sets of the following: passports, driver's license, healthcare and insurance cards, travel tickets and itinerary, boarding pass if it's secured in advance online, plus any physician's prescription and or medical statements. 1 complete set is placed on your parents' carry-on bag, 1 set is forwarded to the family members in the arrival destination, and 1 is left at home. Also, don't forget to provide them a cell phone, perhaps one with a predetermined minutes. Program in your telephone number as their first emergency number. We go to number 5, arrange medication management. Even us adults take 5 or more medications once or even several times a day. The transportation staff has no obligation regarding the medical dosing of your parents. An alternative is provide your parents with an alarm watch and organize their pill dispenser. If their trip is long, be sure that your parents have enough medication in advance of their departure. Pharmacies can arrange with physicians to ensure a senior have enough pills to maintain proper dosage until they return. We go to number 6, mind their meds. Senior travelers need to take much care of their medications, as they do with their money and passport. Don't pack them in their checked luggage and tell them not to leave them lying in the open in hotel rooms. Always make sure that they have enough medicines to last them a day or two, just in case their flight home is delayed. Keep a paper with the names of their essential medicines they take and their dosages so they can try to replace them when needed. If they take brand name medications, write down their generic name too. Even better, try to find out the name of the medication in the language of the destination they're going to travel to. We go to number 7, know the security checkpoints. If mom and dad is in the wheelchair at the transportation center, access to and through security or airport security may actually be quicker rather than through the long line of other travelers. Be prepared to brief your parents on any security procedures regarding any medical conditions that would set alarms, such as knee and hip implants, or seen in scans such as prosthetics or infusion ports. To avoid unwanted delays, get the physician's statement or the device description card. This is often provided during the time of the implant. And make sure that the seniors have that documentation with them. Oftentimes, a personnel will ask the senior to step aside and perform a wand screening, then passing through the sensors. If your parents are in a wheelchair, the security will use a wand while she or he is seated. Present, if important, any physician's statement regarding your mom and dad's medical condition or mobility limitation. Dress your parents in safe walking shoes for the transfer through security and into the eventual travel seat. And lastly, before traveling, explain to your mom and dad that the security process is vital to their safety. Now we go to number 8. Think about your senior security, safety, and comfort. Elders can be seen as vulnerable adults, particularly in high-traffic travel areas. So don't allow your elderly parents to be targets. Mom may not be carrying a bag or a purse, but instead let her use a money belt worn under her blouse. Now, dad should not carry a wallet in his back pocket, but instead let him carry a money wallet from the neck cord or as a hidden wallet tucked to his pants and secured with his belt. Advise mom and dad, if they're traveling alone, to always keep their carry-on between their feet when standing alone or a shoulder strap looped around the leg of the chair when seated. For comfort, consider a travel pillow, a C-shaped balloon that supports the neck and the head when resting aboard transportation. We go to number 9, pack light. For a person traveling with at least some limitation, aim to pack everything necessary in a roll-aboard suitcase plus a medium-sized over-the-shoulder carry-on. Do not check in the roll-aboard luggage, as the in-cabin flight staff will gladly stash it in the overhead bin. This will serve your parents a lot of time at their final destination. All prescriptions and over-the-counter medications should be placed in a Ziploc zipper bag, including all copies of prescriptions and/or physician statements into the hand carry bag. If your parents have some gifts to relatives, don't wrap them anymore. Place all items in the roll-aboard luggage. Now, if your parent is traveling alone, before you close his or her carry bag, prepare to place a note saying, "I love you, and I hope you enjoy your vacation." Now we go to number 10. Watch what you eat and drink lots of water. Elderly people, as we know, have more sensitive tummies and are frequently on a restricted diet. It's understandable to want to forget these facts while you're away from home, but doing so could have some undesirable side effects. Unless you want to spend time in their hotel room rather than out and about, they probably want to keep the heavy, spicy, or cheesy items to a minimum. Also, some medications do not act well with certain foods. If your parents are taking any medications, call their doctor before they leave to find out if certain foods popular in their destination are off limits. As to water, many travelers suffer from dehydration, which can cause fatigue and interfere with blood sugar levels. Make sure they are well hydrated throughout the trip and avoid caffeinated beverages or alcohol because these can deplete water and essential minerals. We go to number 12, wear loose clothing. Tell your mom and dad to wear comfortable clothes and loose clothing so there will be a lower risk of hypertension, high blood, and stroke. Loose clothing reduces the risk of blood clots when they are sitting or standing for long periods of time. Compression stockings can help stimulate circulation in the lower legs on long flights. We go to number 13. Ensure that the destination can support senior care needs. If your parent is flying solo to visit other family, schedule a teleconference with your relatives to go over caregiving support your elderly needs. Advice of your approach is assisting mom and dad so there would be a seamless transition of care. Advise your parents' favorite food and activities so they can try to be more accommodating during their visit, making it more like a home for your mom and dad. And more importantly, advice of their medicine regimen that must be followed. Also make sure that they have all the legal documents should an emergency arise. On the day of travel, arrive at the airport, bus station, or train stations 2 hours early so they could fetch your parents without pressure, share a meal or snack, review the travel plan and itinerary, and most importantly, to use the wheelchair-capable restroom before heading to the gate. This should reduce the need for your parent to access the small restroom when traveling. Number 14, request a ground floor room. Are stairs a problem for your elderly parent? Always request for a first floor room. That would be easier for them. Also consider what easy transportation options are available nearby when choosing a hotel. We go to the last, number 15. Get travel insurance. While travel insurance is very important for people of any age, it is truly essential for elderly travelers who are more at risk of falling and hurting themselves, getting sick, or needing extra medication if their travel is interrupted or delayed. Nothing is worse than to be in a foreign land and find themselves in a situation where they have fallen or run out of medication and not knowing what to do or if they'll be covered. So this ends our episode for today. Remember, I gave you 15 important safety travel tips for your senior travelers. So make sure to remember these when your mom or dad or even your grandma or your grandpa would be traveling alone. So these tips will help you a lot. So I'll see you on my next vlog for more important travel tips. This is Suzanne saying, you take care and always stay safe. Bye!
Yeah.